What is up, guys? Locked in day 4. About to go to the gym. We're gonna hit hamstrings and glutes today, something that I don't really love training. I think a lot of guys don't like doing hamstrings or glutes. Glutes is generally the favorite of all women. You'll see them doing it 3 times a week at the gym. Like, you see the same girl at the gym 3 times in the same week, and every time she's doing glutes, and you're like, do you train anything else? But anyway, gonna take some of this Legion stim-free pre-workout. Doing the stim-free just to help with blood flow and basically getting a good pump, because you know I like the 5-hour energies for my caffeine source, so I don't generally drink a normal pre-workout with stim. But I'm not against stim, I just get it from a different source. I like to put it in a Gatorade Zero to make it taste even better. I rarely drink water anymore. I always buy Gatorade Zeros and Propels. But anyway, let's go to the gym and let's get this hamstring workout going. Remember, hamstrings are half your legs. It's like if you trained your biceps and not your triceps. Or maybe the hamstring's more like the bicep because it curls in that way. And then the quads are kind of like the tricep. But the quads are like the bicep because they look cool. Stopped at Circle K, got my 5-hour energy for the day. I literally don't care what flavor. I just walk in and grab whichever one is closest, because they all taste pretty good. But you remember when they first came out, they tasted disgusting. It was like a liquid multivitamin. You know, like when you take a multivitamin, then you burp and it tastes like multivitamin? That's what they used to taste like. But now they taste, I don't know, good. Like, artificial flavoring has just gotten so good over the last 10, 15 years. Like, remember protein shakes used to taste bad? Now they taste like freaking milkshakes. It's like, why would you even eat ice cream or drink milkshakes when protein shakes exist? They're just amazing. Anyway, let's chug this down, go hit these hammies, baby. Also, it's very good to have like a pump product or something if you are gonna just do like a 5-hour energy or some kind of like pure energy drink, because it gets that vasoconstriction and then your veins kind of shrink up, everything feels kind of tight. So you want those vasodilators and the pump products to kind of bring you back to homeostasis. Basically, you're just a walking pharmacy and you have to use multiple different things to counteract the things that you're using so that you can be a normal human being, or you can use nothing and just feel normal. All right, we're gonna start the hamstring and glute workout. First, we have dumbbell Romanian deadlift, but really it's just Romanian deadlift. Any, you could do dumbbell, machine, Smith machine, plain barbell, any straight leg deadlift to work the hamstrings. And we got 3 sets of 12. Do a couple warm-ups and then get into the 3 sets of 12. I already warmed up. A lot of people struggle with RDLs for some reason. And I think maybe they're not focusing on the right things. So you always want like a slight bend in the knee. And then rather than thinking of just going down, you're thinking of pushing your butt out. Push butt out, push butt out, push butt out, push butt out until you feel that good stretch in your hamstring. Then shove the hips forward. Opposite, it's all in the hips. You're not just bending your back over. You're not just trying to bend the weight over. You're trying to push your butt out until you get that good stretch and burn. Then shove your hips forward. Nice, slow, and controlled. And that's how you do it properly. Also, start with lightweight, work up slowly, and don't go too heavy, because if you go too heavy, you're probably gonna hurt your back. You're probably not gonna be able to keep the form right. And that's where most people go wrong, especially beginners. If you haven't been lifting for a long time. If you have, you probably already know how to do these, but every exercise, you're focusing on working that muscle. You're not just trying to get it up and down, you're trying to actually stretch and flex the muscle. You feel the stretch in your hamstrings, and when you push up, you feel that squeeze in your glutes. That's gonna work both hamstrings and glutes. Let's take a good rest. Legs take more of a rest than upper body things. It's probably 2-3 minutes, and then get into the next exercise. I mean, your warm-ups, you can take less rest. It's really light, you're just trying to get warmed up. You take like 30 seconds to a minute, do another light one until you feel warmed up. And then you get into the working sets, and that's when you take a little bit longer rest. But you just take as long as you need. You don't need to time it or anything. I'm going to dinner tonight with Lily, and we're actually gonna go to an Italian place, so like pasta. And I'm doing body recomp, right? So I'm trying to do 240 or above protein per day, and then stay at or under 3,000 calories on average. And most days this week I've hit like 25 to 2,600. So I have extra calories I could use if I need to. Probably won't need them. But anytime you're going out to dinner, if you want like an easy trick to stay on track or very close to it, in the morning, just eat protein. Like very plain, just protein. Don't have sides, don't have carbs, don't have anything. Just protein. Get as close to your protein goal as you can for the day before you go to dinner. Then when you go to dinner, order something with protein in it to try to fill in the rest. And then you can kind of have whatever you want. I mean, you don't want to have like a huge giant feast if you actually are trying to stay under a certain amount of calories that isn't that high. But you'll be a lot closer than if you just had like your normal meal, then went out to dinner. If you just stick to protein, then dinner, you're gonna be pretty close to your goal, even if you don't track that dinner or if you estimate the dinner. So it's a really easy trick you can use to stay on track. You don't have to just say screw it on days where you wanna go out to dinner, you have a family event, whatever. You don't have to ruin the entire day. Like you can just hit protein and then kind of have whatever you want at the event or the dinner, whatever. And the more often you go out, the more careful you need to be. Like if you're someone that goes out to eat every week or even multiple times per week, then you probably do want to decide what you're gonna eat, figure out the macros on it so you can be as accurate as possible. But if you're going out to eat like once a month, once every other month, and you wanna use the estimation method, you'll be totally fine because on all those other days, you're hitting your macros perfectly. And then when you go to dinner, yeah, you might be a few hundred calories over, but going a few hundred calories over one time per month isn't gonna screw you up. And one time every 2 months really is gonna do nothing. But if you're doing it every week or multiple times per week, you don't wanna be going over, especially if you're trying to get lean. Now, if you're like maintaining, we're doing a lean bulk, it's a little less important. So you just gotta decide what your goal is, what you're trying to do, and figure it out from there. But it's pretty easy. You don't have to be meticulous. I mean, you wanna be meticulous most days with most of your stuff that you're making at home. But then if you go out to eat, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can estimate it, or you can just eat protein and then have the whatever. And another thing you could do is if you have a bunch of protein, like right before you go out to eat, that will curb your appetite some. So then when you do order whatever you want, first of all, you'll probably order less. Like if you just don't eat all day and then you go to dinner, you'll probably order a lot more food and down a lot more food very quickly. But even if you just had one meal right before you went out of like pure protein, your appetite will be curbed enough to where you won't order in this like, you know, you get in that like hunger, like frenzy and everything looks amazing and you just think you can put down so much food. You won't be in that mode when you order. So you'll make better decisions. You can still have something delicious and you'll probably eat less of it. So there's a lot of different ways you can stay in shape fairly easily. You know, people just say screw it all the time, eat whatever they want just based on taste all the time. And that's where you get in trouble. That's where you become obese. And then over the years, you know, you put on 10 pounds one year, 5 pounds the next year. It's a slow accumulation. You probably don't even notice it because it's so slow that you're like, oh, I've always been this fat. And then the next year you're like, yeah, I've always been this fat. And then like 10 years down the line, you're like 50 pounds overweight. And you're like, actually, I don't think I had this giant gut 10 years ago. And then you look at a picture of yourself and you're like, holy shit, I got fat, bro. On the other hand, if you do what I'm talking about, you stay like pretty on point most of the time. You still enjoy your food. You still get to go out to eat every once in a while. And if you're just focusing on macros, you're gonna enjoy your food like a ton. You don't have to eat chicken, broccoli, rice. You can eat how I eat based on your macros though. Like if you want cereal every night or you want some kind of dessert every night, just eat pure protein all day and save those calories, save those carbs for the nighttime snack. You don't have to go without it. You don't have to cut everything out. If you really enjoy eating a certain way and you know you have certain habits, just find a way to continue eating with those habits, but with significantly better macros, and you can stay in really, really good shape. Like I've had dessert every night for, dude, like my whole life basically, because I figured out a way you can do it. I was like, I would always watch bodybuilding videos when I was younger, and they were always like rice, you know, always rice in their meals, which I don't know why. I'm like, why is rice your carb source? Like, it's one of the most plain, yeah, it's good with certain foods, right? It can be very good, like rice and like chicken, like teriyaki chicken, whatever, together. Really good. But I'm like, I would rather have some dessert. I'd rather have some cereal, some other kind of low fat carb source that is sweet. I would much rather have that than have rice with all my meals. So I'm like, the rice isn't even that good, or potatoes or whatever. I'm like, I would much rather save those calories and have something I would actually enjoy every day, still be within the calorie amount that I need, still hit my protein, and stay in great shape all the time. People think it's like all in or all out, but there's a way to do it in a way where you can eat foods you enjoy all the time. Like you don't have to be like, all right, now I'm on a diet, so all my food is gonna be not delicious and I can't have any of my favorite items. No, you can, dude. Like you just gotta do the math and figure out a way to fit it in. It's not that hard. It's actually very, very simple. So it actually annoys the shit out of me when people are not in good shape. And that's why I'm starting this channel and why I'm trying to talk more about this stuff, because it's so much more simple than people think. And I think a lot of the dudes that get really high views and stuff online are the dudes who eat like a very perfect diet, because people like seeing that, because they're like, it seems like something they could never do, and they're very interested in that level of discipline, and they hope that they can get there to where they eat 4, 5, 6 meals a day of, you know, a protein source, all whole foods. They never crave sugar anymore. And that is like a very interesting way to eat, in that level of discipline. Like, it's fun to watch, but it's like, are you gonna be that person? Because if you're not, just do the more simple method, focus on your macros, and stop trying to play games with yourself thinking, one day I will be that very disciplined person who eats all whole foods. I'm like, oh, you're like, bro, you haven't been disciplined at all. So why do you think that's gonna be you someday? And I even had to come to that realization myself at some point. I did eat a lot of like chicken when I was first getting into it, because I was so obsessed that I would literally do anything to get results. Then as I got older, I became a little less inclined. I was like, I'm already in pretty good shape. I don't like eating plain ass chicken all the time. And I figured out macros, and I was like, bro, this is so freaking easy. It's so much easier than I thought. Because when I was downing plain chicken breasts, it was gross. And I was choking it down every few hours. And then you figure out macros and you're like, oh, I can eat shit that tastes amazing, still get basically the exact same result. Like you can eat rice, or you can have Rice Krispies cereal, or you can have Captain Crunch, or any cereal you want. Pay attention to cereal. Some of them are very high in fat, or not very high in fat, but they're higher in fat than other cereals. Like Frosted Rice Krispies have 0 fat. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has like 5 grams of fat per serving. It's one of the higher ones. Cocoa Pebbles is like 1 or 1.5 grams of fat per serving. So the lower the fat, the better option that is, because you get more volume per calories. Captain Crunch is amazing. I mean, not Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch might be a little higher in fat too, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that one is higher in fat. And then use almond milk, not because, you know, people are like, almonds don't have milk. Okay, dude, but they are very low in calories, bitch, you dumb idiot. Who gives a shit? It's lower in fat. You can get more of it for less calories. That's the name of the game. Can I get something delicious for less calories? And can I eat my protein in a way that is delicious to me? That's why I don't eat freaking chicken anymore. I eat ground turkey and ground beef, because to me it's super easy to make and it tastes significantly better than chicken breast, in my opinion. If you like fish, eat fish. If you like chicken breast, eat chicken breast. Whatever your favorite protein source is, eat that. Eat a good amount of your protein from that for the day. Like I probably get half my protein from meat, and then the other half from protein powder, protein bars, and stuff like that. And some people will look down on that. screw them. And if they don't have a six pack, I don't want to hear that shit from them, dude. I'm like, shut up, dude. I don't give a shit what you have to say, to be honest, because you look like trash anyway. So go eat your organic, sit in the corner, touch yourself, and think about how you're morally better than everyone because you eat all whole foods and you're such a good boy, but yet you're fat. And also you're annoying as shit because you call people out for stupid shit. Did you know that has red dye in it and you're gonna die when you're 32? I don't think so, bitch. Imagine I die in 2 years and then that, or a year and a half, and then that statement didn't age very well. If I die in the next 2 years, then avoid red dye and avoid eating processed foods, okay? But if I live and I'm like still ripped at 50, I don't know what to tell you, but I probably wouldn't wait 20 years to find out. Probably would just start now. All right, what is next on the agenda today? Oh yeah, come on, baby. Abran la telefono. All right, next we got leg curls, the opposite of leg extensions. All right, somebody was on the leg curls, so we're gonna skip to hip thrusts, and then we'll go back to leg curls. Anytime you're doing any workout, you can skip and come back if it's busy. If the gym's busy, don't wait around for a machine. The order in which you do things, not super important. Generally, the way I write workouts is starting with something easy so that you can warm up for the harder workouts. Thrust is probably the harder workout we're doing today. Actually, split squats at the end is gonna probably be the hardest. So ideally, I would do the curls beforehand just to get more warmed up, but it's totally fine. We could just do extra warm-up sets or whatever. I already got warmed up. So we're gonna do 15, 12, 10. So essentially we're just working up to a heaviest set of 10. Guys, when it comes to workouts, people try to overcomplicate it so much. Like I'll see like super beginners asking questions about like they'll watch like scientific YouTubers, which is cool. It's cool to learn about everything, but you don't have to be like super optimal with your training. Like that super optimal stuff really is only needed to go from like amazing to super amazing. But if you're just like average, or you're even like pretty damn jacked and you're just trying to look your best, you don't have to do the most scientifically backed, perfectly complex, customized workout. Like just follow a plan, go in the gym, do slow controlled reps, focus on mind muscle connection, push yourself hard, try to work out a little bit harder every time, make the muscle burn, and then you go home and you fuel with the right macronutrients and you will grow. You don't have to do the most perfect, like literally pick anything, any workout split that works with your schedule, okay? If you can only work out 3 days a week, do push-pull legs. If you can work out 4 days a week, do a 4-day split. If you can do 5, do a 5-day split. If you can work out every day, literally choose any split you want and cycle through it and work out 7 days a week. Ideally, you would pick something like 4 or 5 or 6 to split up the muscle group a little more, so that when you get back to that same muscle group, you're not sore, like you want to fully recover. The muscle growth occurs during the recovery, not during the workout. A lot of people, I'm sure most know that by now, but yeah, dude, it doesn't matter. Like stick to very simple stuff. Stick to like bodybuilding style routines. Make sure you get your protein in every day consistently. Keep your calories in check according to if you're trying to cut, if you're trying to maintain, if you're trying to grow a little bit. That is literally how simple it is. Do not overcomplicate it. You're just wasting your time overcomplicating it. And a lot of people use it as like a weird excuse to not get started, or, you know, just get started, dude. And then just stay consistent with it. And then like if you see advice about one way to do it and you're like, that sounds cool, let me do that, just stick to it. Don't change it the next time you see another video that explains a different way to do something. Like just do the simple one. If one sounds good to you, do it. Stick to it. Don't, you know, change your method just because you hear a different influencer saying something different every other week. Like pick a plan, do that plan for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Like do the exact same workout. You can change the exercise, you can substitute it,
Like if you're doing hip thrusts, you can do barbell, you can do machine, you can do it with dumbbells, and you can switch between those depending on the week and depending on what you feel like doing. But the overall structure of the workout, just keep it the same. Literally doesn't matter. The food matters more than anything. But people neglect the food and they think doing a harder workout is gonna make up for that, and it's not. It's not even gonna get close to making up for it. You could do like half-ass workouts and have your nutrition on point. You will be one of the most shredded, amazing looking people on the planet. Or you eat kind of like trash and you do like insanely hard workouts, you're gonna look mid at best. But yeah, man, just keep it simple. What will help you improve your life other than getting jacked? Pretty much nothing. I mean, getting jacked is the #1 improver of life. They actually did a study of 20,000 people. Half of them got jacked, half of them did not. And the people who got jacked were 87% more likely to be millionaires, to be happy, to have offspring with beautiful women. And the other half were 87% more likely to be depressed, be broke, not find a woman, not find a man, be single. Basically the complete opposite, right? Did I just make that study up? Yes. Is it accurate? Probably somewhat. But if you believe in it, it'll be a good motivation for you to get jacked. So I think it will improve your life. Will it improve it as much as I just said in that study that definitely happened? Maybe not. That's up to you. It's up to you how much you let it drive you. Guys, I've never been able to do hip thrusts before on a barbell or a Smith machine because I've tried doing it like a million times with like a bench as my back support. Never could do it. Then this gym has this like little angled pad and it works so well. And usually I just prefer doing like a machine, and I've never been able to do it. But now with this little slanty pad, feels super comfortable. Feels good. All right, let's rack up the weight a little bit. Not 45s. I'm not that jacked, okay? I'm not a woman. I don't have big horse ass. Gluteus maximus. Dude, some chicks have the biggest butts. Like they can do hip thrusts with, like if I was trapped under a truck, I would want some chick, some like physique chick or whatever, fitness chick. What do you call the competitors that are like really jacked with the really huge legs? It's not bikini. It's like one step up. I would just be like, the firefighters could just bring in one of these slanty pads and a bar and she could hip thrust the truck off of you. Like they don't even need a crane, dude. Some of those, I've seen them doing it with 3 plates, 4 plates, 5 plates, and I'm like, that is thoroughly embarrassing for me and all other men. But it is what it is. I mean, they also do glutes like 4 times a week, and the chicks that are bigger than bikini chicks are on juice, but that's besides the point. They also have amazing genetics for having huge legs. Like your genetics do limit you, like, you know, there's only a certain size you can get to with your genetics. And the girls that happen to compete, the girls that do well in competition just have very good genetics for having enormous legs, for being a little bit leaner, for having really small waists. They have these genetics where their boobs are plastic too, which helps them because it increases their chest size, which makes their waist look smaller. Or maybe anyone can get those, I don't know. I thought it was genetic. Damn, that burns, holy moly. Whew, that booty burn though. I actually have not really trained glutes like my whole life. I mean, just a little bit, but not much. Mostly focus on quads like most dudes do. But my mom did have a big butt, so I did get blessed in that area. Didn't get giant quads or knees or ankles or calves, but it's all good. What do you need those for if you got a badonkadonk and some big shoulders? Guys, if you want a really good physique, I'd probably just skip leg day and do shoulders. It's gonna give you the most bang for your buck because you can just wear joggers. So really, what do you need big legs for if you can just wear joggers? Okay, hamstring leg curls, we got another 15, 12, 10. So we're just working up to our heaviest set of 10. Slow and controlled, squeeze them bitches. Nice and slow, guys. This one, especially on your first set of 15, like nice and slow because it's light. So you can really control it. And you're trying to really build that mind muscle connection for when you do increase the weight in the next couple sets. Yeah, when you do your set of 15, it's gonna be light, but by the time you get to the end, it'll be burning a lot. So sometimes when you start a set, it could feel like too easy sometimes. Shouldn't feel super too easy, right? But it could feel, you do the first few reps and you're like, ah, it's pretty easy. But go really slow and squeeze, like you're trying to make it hurt, right? And by the time you actually get to like the last 3 or 4 reps, you'll be on fire. And keep doing it slow and really try to make it burn as much as possible. Then you take your good rest, increase the weight based on how easy that was. So 15 was pretty damn easy. The first few felt pretty light. So I increased by like 3 plates, and you can just do it based on it. If it was really hard, but you actually got 15 and your next set is to do 12, then only increase by like 1 plate maybe. Or keep it the same. If it was really hard, then doing 3 less reps may be just as difficult because you're already a little worn out. You can just judge based on your own mind. And it's okay if you don't get to the number of reps too. Like if you do 15 with 60 pounds or whatever, you get 15, it burned, it was really hard, then you decide to increase the weight and you're going for 12. If you only get to like 9 because it's so damn hard and you just fail, that's cool. That's actually really good. It's better. Sometimes it's better to be a few short, but you fail because you tried so hard. So, you know, there's nothing magic about the number of reps. It's just kind of giving you a target of like, where is this gonna burn a lot? Where is this gonna cause some muscle breakdown and some muscle stimulation, like stimulation for growth. Last, we got split squats, 3 sets of 10. I like to start with no weight just to find my balance and get that tension, get the right form going, and then we'll add a little bit of weight. So just a warm up. Nothing special about taking your shoes off. I just didn't want to get my shoes dirty. Benches will leave black marks on your shoes. I got these new mesh lifting shorts from Gymshark. They're pretty sick. I love the mesh shorts. I feel like they look really good, especially for leg day, because they're a little bit shorter. Upper body day, I prefer something a little longer to cover up my little chicken legs. But for leg day, these are pretty sick. If you like any of the outfits I'm ever wearing, you can use code Brennan10 at Gymshark for a discount. So 3 sets of 10. Split squats are hard. So there's 2 different ways to do split squats, or 2 different intentions. You can do quads or hamstrings and glutes. Basically, the further you step out with this outfit, the more glutes and hamstrings it's gonna be. The closer you are, the more quads it's gonna be. I'm just gonna do a medium today, so we're hitting a little bit of quads during this workout. But you can do, you know, if you're really trying to build your glutes, you wanna do like a really far step out and then kind of come down and back. You can even touch your glute to make sure that is where the tension is mostly going, okay? I like to hold the dumbbell in the opposite hand. Some people hold it in the same hand. I feel like more balanced when it's in the opposite hand. I haven't actually done split squats in a pretty long time. I added them to this plan specifically because they are difficult and they're something I don't like doing. And the whole point of this is to challenge myself and work harder, not to do the easiest plan possible. So we're adding back in things that I don't really like doing, like Smith machine squats, split squats, harder things. But I would say anytime I've done split squats consistently in the past, I've actually seen some decent leg growth. So it is something that's smart to keep in, but they hurt probably more than almost any other leg exercise. I don't know why they hurt so much more than a normal squat. You know, I don't even need much weight to make it burn like crazy. But ideally by the end of 30 days, we'll be doing more than 30 pounds. I might do 35 today. Nah, I might just do all 3 on 30 because I haven't done it in a really long time. Anytime you're starting a new plan or you haven't worked out in a while or whatever, don't be in a rush to get to your heaviest weight. Don't, you know, if you used to be able to do 100 pounds on something and now you can only do 50, that's fine. That's where you're at. And you can slowly build up to where you used to be. It's no big deal. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It's like about enjoying the process. The most of it is, for me, is about getting better mood and mindset. Like I feel more energy. I feel less anxiety, less depressed when I'm being consistent and seeing slow, steady progress. Like when I actually get to like my most jacked physique, that doesn't bring much benefit other than, oh yeah, you look really cool, but it's really the road there. All the hard work in between is where you feel good. Like right after my workout every day, it's when I feel the best mentally, not when I wake up looking dry and lean in the morning. It's actually when I feel my worst.
All right, hamstring glute day. Let's check out the physique. Still holding more water than normal from the extra food, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make some chicken. Do have a good little hamstring pump for the little hamstrings that I have. Definitely need to grow these hamstrings. That's why I did 2 separate leg days, because I generally tend to slack on hamstrings and put all effort into quads. But hamstrings is like half or maybe 1/3 of your leg size. So I need to stop doing that and take it seriously. Ooh. I'd say back is probably my best body part and the thing I hate training the most. That's why my back days are shorter. Still really good workouts if you did that back workout the other day. But I try to keep it shorter because I'm really not trying to grow my back. Not to say that that back workout won't grow your back, but I just am doing as minimal volume as possible to stimulate growth, and then that's it. Don't want the back to grow really, but for you, it'll work. You can always throw in extra sets if you need to, if you feel like it's not enough volume for you. But I guarantee if you do these workouts and you're actually doing it the way I'm telling you to do it, it's enough volume. If you're really focused on mind muscle connection, you're going slow and you're trying to make each set as difficult as possible, like I tell you to, it's enough, okay? If you get to the end and you're like, that was easy, you didn't do what I said. You can always do extra volume. Like if you just don't have that ability to push yourself that hard, and extra volume is kind of what the way that you get that extra work in, then, you know, go ahead. 1,000 ways to skin a cat, 1,000,000 ways to get jacked. There's more ways to get jacked than there's to skin a cat. I don't know why is that a saying, because I don't know who's skinning cats. It's pretty nuts. But anyway, that's it for today. Good physique, good to go.